In this video, we're going to be talking about designing an activity-based costing system. There are three essential characteristics. The first is that you need management support. One way to make sure that ABC works is to link the ABC data to evaluations and pay. And it's also extremely important that we use a cross-functional team. This is using employees from all sorts of different departments across the company. In the first step of implementation, all of our experts from all these different departments are going to lock themselves in a boardroom and define different activities. Define the activity cost pools and determine which activity measures they're going to use. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of discussion, a lot of analysis, and eventually they're going to leave the room with some answers. The second step is to then assign overhead costs to specific cost pools. Calculate the activity rates is the third step. The fourth step is to assign the overhead costs to different cost objects. And then lastly, we're going to prepare some management reports. We're going to take a look at each of these steps in a little bit more detail. In step one, defining the activities, the cost pools, and the activity measures. It could be a very time-consuming activity. We're usually going to have a very long list of activities that's going to need to be pared down. We're going to have to group like activities at the appropriate level. This is very time-consuming, could be very difficult to do. It's going to take a commitment from everyone across the company who's involved in the decision-making. It's very important to have all of the stakeholders at the table and to take a time to do it right the first time. So if we come out of our meeting with these different cost pools on the left, customer orders, product design, order size, customer relations, and other. These are the cost pools that came out of this particular meeting. This does not relate to every single company. This is just an example that we're using. When we're looking at customer orders, one of the measures we're going to use is the number of customer orders. When we're looking at product design, you can look at the number of product designs or the number of product design changes. When you look at order size, we can look at machine hours. Customer relations, number of active customers, and then for everything else, there is not one specific activity measure that we're going to look at. Customer orders, that's going to be batch level. Every time a customer places an order, we're going to have to set up a run. Product design, this is going to be at the product level. So before we even go into production, we're going to have to design the product. Each product design is at the product level. Order size, each order is going to be for a specific number of units, so this will be at the unit level. Customer relations obviously should be at the customer level. And other, these are going to be your organization sustaining and idle capacity areas. These are not assigned to a product. Step two, we're going to assign overhead costs to activity cost pools. It's interesting this is step two because it's actually called the first stage allocation. In the first stage allocation, we sit down and we divide up all the overhead costs among the different activity pools. So what percentage of costs go to each pool? Once again, this involves some in-depth interviews with key personnel from across all different departments. It could be very time-consuming and difficult to do. Eventually, you're going to come out with a schedule. So up here on the upper left-hand corner, you see all of the overhead costs at this company called Classic Brass. These costs are broken up between the production department, general administrative department, and the marketing department. The total overhead costs are $1,810,000. This $1.8 million needs to be broken out across the different activity cost pools. So after we come out of our intense meetings, we decided that customer orders, product design, order size, customer relations, and other need to have a certain percentage of overhead attributed to them. So when you look at factory wages, 25% of the factory wages are going to go to customer orders, 40% are going to go to product design, 20% are going to go to order size, and 10% are going to go to customer relations, with the other 5% going to other. We do this for each line item of our overhead, and then we can use these percentages to allocate the costs. So if you look over on the bottom right corner here, you see the 1.8 million in total. As we went across from left to right for indirect factory wages, we used the percentage related to customer orders and multiplied that by the indirect factory wages in total, and then we allocated 125,000 to customer orders. If we go back, you can see that the indirect factory wages were $500,000. Customer orders are going to get 25% of that. So when you multiply the 25% by the 500,000, you end up with the $125,000 assigned to customer orders. We keep doing that across every cost pool, every line item, and you end up with a total for customer orders, a total for design changes, a total for order size, a total for customer relations, and a total for other. Add those totals across, and you get your $1.8 million. That is the first stage allocation.